Welcome to A Damn Good Question, the weekly broadcast that helps you understand the top news stories with a conservative twist.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to A Damn Good Question podcast. Sitting across from me, as always, friend, co-host, producer, sidekick, bodyguard, superhero in his own right, third richest man in the world, and the world's fastest tap dancer, Mark.
Practice.
That's what I hear. Practice. Them feet move, bud. Feet of flames. They say.
It's just a lost art.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That
get that.
and what else? Lots of things we have lost from our culture.
Oh man,
All
kinds.
kinds.
But we're gonna bring them back.
I think so.
But hey, we want to welcome you to this very special episode of A Damn Good Question as we sit here to celebrate 250 years of the greatest country this world has ever seen.
Oh, who's that?
United States of America.
Oh, really? According to the press, it's not.
S A
Yeah. Well, the press.
S.
The press. The press. So we're just going to jump right into it. My fellow Americans, 250 years ago in a small hall in Pennsylvania, 56 men, most of them Englishmen, Scottish, Irish, Welsh, and descendants of the British Isles, dared to imagine something the world had never seen. They were not the wretched refuge of teeming shores. They were the boldest of their stock. Farmers who could have stayed safe in their fields, lawyers who could have kept their comfortable practices, merchants who risked their fortunes on an idea. They carried in their veins the common law of England, honored over centuries. They carried the dissenting faith of Scotland and the Puritan concessions of East Anglia. I always messed up. They carried the radical Enlightenment philosophy that rights come not from monarchs, but from our Creator. That government existed by consent of the governed, and that when any government became destructive of these ends, it was the right of the people to alter it or abolish it. This was not merely rebellion. This was revolution, the most successful revolution in human history. They staked everything on the wild gamble that they could build something better in this wilderness, and built it they did. From the rocky coast of New England to the bluegrass of Kentucky, from the Piedmont to the prairies, it was our fathers and mothers who cleared the forest with axe and saw, who broke the plains with plow and sweat, who raised the cities from mud and timber and stone. The Anglo-Saxon common law became our law. The assumption of innocence, the right to face one's accuser, the jury of our peers. The Protestant work ethic became our engine. The Gothic arches of our churches and the neoclassical columns of our capitals rose from Europe's memory transplanted to American soil, creating a new architect of liberty. Consider what our people have accomplished in just 2.5 centuries. Our ancestors won independence at Saratoga and Yorktown. Ragged farmers and shopkeepers standing against the greatest empire on earth. 30 years later, they defeated that same empire again in New Orleans. Then came the great test. Brother against brother at Antietam, Gettysburg, and the Wilderness. A crucible of fire that forged a stronger nation and at terrible cost extended the promise of liberty to those our forefathers had excluded. The Anglo-Celtic frontiersmen pushed westward, building the infrastructure of a continent. They carved the wilderness road through Cumberland Gap. They laid the rails that crossed the Sierras and the Rockies, binding the continent together with bands of steel. They strung telegraph wire that conquered distance, making communication instant across thousands of miles. They built steel mills in Pittsburgh that outproduced the combined output of the world. They dug coal in Appalachia, forged iron in Birmingham, and harvested wheat in Kansas, feeding and fueling a nation. Our inventors gave the world the lightning rod, the cotton gin, the steamboat, the mechanical reaper, the telephone, the light bulb, the airplane, the assembly line. Practical genius born of Yankee ingenuity and Scots-Irish stubbornness. Thomas Edison, the son of a Dutch-Canadian father and Scottish mother, held over 1,000 patents. The Wright brothers, descendants of English and Dutch settlers, conquered the air at Kitty Hawk. Henry Ford, son of Irish immigrants, put America on wheels. Our writers, Cooper, Hawthorne, Melville, Twain, Faulkner, Hemingway, captured the American soul in the English language and gave it back to the world as art. Our composers, Copland, Berlin, Gershwin, created a distinctly American sound. Our painters, Reth, Rockwell, Hopper, showed us ourselves. We built the institutions that endure. The Town Hall of Democracy of New England, where every citizen had a voice. The common schools that educated millions, founded on the belief that a free people must be an educated people. The land-grant universities, Morrell's great gift that turned farmers' sons into engineers, scientists, and statesmen. The German immigrants of the Midwest transformed American agriculture with scientific farming. The Scandinavian settlers of Minnesota and the Dakotas built cooperative communities that thrived in lands that broke lesser men. Our sons have served and sacrificed in disproportionate numbers. They held the line at Bunker Hill. They charged the stone wall at Fredericksburg, stormed the beaches at Normandy, and froze at the Chosin Reservoir, and fought house to house in Fallujah. They manned the factories that armed the free world in 1941. Rosie the Riveter was often the daughter of an Irish or Italian immigrants, working 12-hour shifts to build the arsenal of democracy. They built the suburbs that housed the baby boom, the interstate highways that connected a nation, and the Apollo program that landed men on the moon and returned them safely to Earth. The world called us wasps, crackers, hillbillies, micks, Polacks, wops, honkies, and squareheads. We turned every slur into strength. We became the backbone of the working class, the backbone of the officer corps, the small business owners who open at dawn, the farmers feeding the world. We crossed the ocean and conquered a wilderness, not as oppressors, but as builders, generation after generation. Yes, we stumbled. We were imperfect. We were human. The same hands that built cathedrals and commerce also wielded the whip. The same ambition that pushed us west could dispossess those who were there before us. But we were also the people who abolished slavery at terrible cost.
Mm-hmm.
We extended the franchise to men without property, to women who built the most prosperous middle class in the history of humans. Not through exploitation, but through innovation, risk, and relentless labor. The miracle of America is not that we were born perfect, is that we were born with the tools to improve. The Constitution was not a destination, it was a compass. The Declaration was not a certificate of completion, but a promise we are still keeping. A promissory note to ourselves and to prosperity. We have crossed darker valleys than most alive remember. We have faced economic collapses that shattered millions of lives. We have faced wars that have threatened our very existence. We have faced internal divisions that seemed ready to tear us asunder, and yet while other republics have crumbled into the dust, while empires have risen and fallen, while tyrants have tried to snuff out liberty wherever it flickered, America has endured. Not because we are different. We are just divinely protected. But because generation after generation have chosen to pick up the torch and carry it forward. So today, as we mark the 250th anniversary, let us remember who we are. We are the descendants of Europe in a new world. We are the heirs of the Magna Carta and the Enlightenment. We are the carriers of a civilization that crossed the Atlantic and became something new. We became America. Yet still recognizably rooted in the folksway, the faith, and the fortitude of the European fathers. We have every right to celebrate our heritage without apology, without guilt, and without shame. We built this country. We died for it. We've improved it. And we intend to hand it down to our children, and not diminished, but stronger than we found it. But let us look forward with courage. The next 250 years begins with us. The challenges ahead are real. Technological disruption, economic transformation, global competition, the preservation of our culture and heritage in an increasingly rootless world. But we have faced worse, and we have always emerged stronger. To my fellow citizens, happy birthday, America. Here's to the next 250 years. May it be as loud and as messy and as magnificent as the first 250 years.
Yeah.
God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America. Amen. Anything, Mark?
No. Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday, America. From here at us, and a damn good question. God bless you all. Enjoy, be safe, and good night.
Good night.